What are the Oklahoma Sooners up to on the recruiting trail as we are about to head into April 22nd, which is going to be a decent recruiting weekend for the Sooners, and it's going to be an important one for the fans because if you guys show up, if you guys pack the Palace again for a second straight year, this is really going to show recruits how bought in the fans are and really give recruits the idea of what the fan experience is going to be like. But additionally, there is a lot of transfer portal action as well. And this is something that I want to go ahead and cover for you guys. But before we dive into it, please go ahead and hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking down in the comments below. Who do you think the Oklahoma Sooners are going to land, if anybody, after this spring game weekend? But let's go ahead and dive into it because listen, this weekend of the 21st to the 23rd, the Oklahoma Sooners definitely have some valuable recruits coming on campus. Now, to start it off and to preface it, I would expect a guy like Michael Hawkins and Kevin Sperry and maybe even Jeremiah Newcomb would be on campus this weekend to help recruit. That would be expected. But to talk about the guys that have either confirmed they're going to be there or guys that we think we should see there, that's what we're here to talk about. So I know of two confirmed guys, maybe not. Let me rephrase this. I know of several confirmed guys that are going to be there at the spring game. First off, you can start off with four-star offensive lineman Casey Poe. And this is no news story for the Oklahoma Sooners here, but the Oklahoma Sooners have positioned themselves in a very good position. He's been to Alabama. Alabama's in a good position. You would imagine that that is where the recruitment lies, between Bama and Oklahoma. Where's Casey Poe going to end up? I think this is a crucial weekend after Casey Poe is coming off the weekend that he spent at Alabama for Oklahoma to make basically another impact in that recruitment and try to stabilize that lead a little bit. Because with Nick Saban and Alabama, you can't count them out of any race. I really don't think there's any concern here or need for worry, but it's just something I think we all got to keep our eyes on. And if Oklahoma can make a strong case here, I would bet you could probably earn a silent commitment out of this weekend. But a couple names that you guys might have not heard of is edge rusher Christopher Jackson. So this is a four-star edge rusher, and currently he has not visited Oklahoma yet, but he's visited Clemson 3 times. And I would expect that they are probably in the race with this. We know that Nick Eason over there, the defensive line coach, is a very good recruiter, and he was on the come up right behind Todd Bates. So, hey, maybe Clemson losing Todd Bates and getting Nick Eason might have been good for them because they would have lost one of them. And if you would have lost Nick Eason before you lost Todd Bates, yeah, that would have probably put Clemson in a bad position. So luckily for them, they were able to hold on to another really good defensive line recruiter, one that was basically able to learn under Bates. So Christopher Jackson is going to be visiting the University of Oklahoma. And like I said, the 6'4", 220-pound edge rusher out of Tucker, Georgia, I would expect to be a Clemson lean. Now, you would also think Georgia is in this. He's taken 2 visits to Georgia Tech and 2 visits to A&M. So we'll have to see kind of where his loyalties lie. We will have to see if Oklahoma can potentially get an official visit out of this kid. But this is one that I think fans should potentially look into and one that you guys should pay attention. The other one that we have is one that you guys might be familiar with, Logan Thomas, a 4-star edge rusher out of Paytow High School in Katy, Texas, was teammates with David Hicks. This is a guy that has been to Texas Tech 3 times. He's been to Texas A&M once. He's been to Oklahoma once. But he's got that scheduled unofficial visit for April 22nd. So, listen, the defensive line, the edge position, I expect this to be a really plentiful class for Oklahoma there. And so I'm curious to see just if Oklahoma can kind of start landing some kids early that are the low 4 stars, 3-star kids that maybe want to go ahead and try to solidify their case and their position to be on the team. Because, I mean, regardless how you look at it, there are going to be a certain number of spots. And when we all expect Oklahoma to land a guy like David Stone, even maybe a Williams Nwaneri, those spots are going to become a little bit more limited, even though they might be interior defensive line versus the edge. But again, something we'll have to keep our eyes on. But speaking of David Stone, that is a guy that I would expect should be on campus for the Oklahoma Sooners. Why would he not? So No need to really dive into that one too much. Seems like we talk about it all the time. But another guy that is going to be actually back on campus for the University of Oklahoma, Jonah Ajonye, someone that we have had here on the podcast and spoke really highly of Todd Bates in the Oklahoma staff. So it seems like Oklahoma has a good connection there. He will be on campus April 22nd for that spring game, really trying to take it all in, see what the Oklahoma Sooners spring day atmosphere is about. And again, I'm not worried about the Sooners not bringing it. You guys definitely will. But Jonah, he is a 6'5", 265-pound defensive lineman. So out of Conroe, Texas. So a big dude, a guy that could definitely play the interior for you and definitely make an impact. One I think the Sooners would definitely like to land if they could potentially get in that race. Additionally, you'll have 3-star linebacker Michael Boganowski back on campus. So you guys have heard that, this is probably going to be an Oklahoma win. Oklahoma probably lands him. However, if they don't land their high targets like Sammy Brown and Peyton Pierce, yeah, he's definitely going to be 100% of a grab for us. He's got a lot of upside. But if we take Sammy Brown and we flip Peyton Pierce, is Michael Boganowski still a take? So I'm curious to see how quickly he decides to maybe commit if things start to trend favorably for Oklahoma on the Sammy Brown side of things, because I wouldn't expect Oklahoma to take more than 2 or 3 linebackers. And I know Oklahoma is in really good position for several linebackers. One that I think you guys need to be keeping your eyes on is Ty Anthony Smith out of Jasper, Texas, the 4-star linebacker who has been to Oklahoma now twice. The 6'1", 205-pound kid, he's going to be able to make an impact. He's consistent, and I think that's important. Right? He has the ability to be able to pursue the runner, be able to pursue the quarterback, and he shows impressive skills on that defensive side of the ball. So in 2021, had 99 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. So again, I'll be curious to see exactly where Oklahoma lands with him, but that's one I would be keeping your guys' eyes on. Not going to say any more than that. But the linebacker position, it's interesting for Oklahoma. Additionally, you'll have cornerback DeDonte Scott. I hope I said that right. Already taken 2 visits to Oklahoma, and the Sooners could take more here at this position because, well, you're going to lose guys like Woody Washington, Key Lawrence, Billy Bowman. So the defensive backs are going to have a need to be filled this season. And, hey, you know what? Take your shot with Oklahoma. Additionally, you're going to have a 2025 kid and wide receiver Blake Belby to be on campus. Now, here's the deal. This list might seem small to you now, but there's going to be a lot of guys who are announcing over this next week that they will be on campus, and we will be doing another video kind of recapping all of these guys that are going to be on campus, who you should really be paying attention to in their recruitments, because, listen, there are a lot of them that are going to be on campus, guys, and I'm telling you now, you're going to want to tune in. We'll drop that list Thursday. You guys are going to want to tune in Thursday to see who's going to be on campus this weekend.